It is 11:33 Eastern Time. So we'll see where this broadcast takes us tonight, huh? That's some title, huh? So I'm multitasking right now. So hopefully, because this is live, hopefully we can get some interaction going in this broadcast. If not, we'll do it kind of, well, I'm on YouTube, but we'll do it just kind of YouTube style, if you will. Had to actively look for certain information, make sure I'm getting things right before going live. What's up, Eric? How you doing, buddy? Welcome aboard. Vince? What's up, guys? And I just now realized I forgot to do something. Not
What happened?
important. I don't know if I still can do it. Give me 1 second, Eric. I guess I still can. I don't know.
Hello, Ryan.
What's up, gentlemen? How you doing?
Great.
Okay, so I'm still seeing the option there on what I want to do. So I don't know. Because I know it'll take me to another window if I do this. Because I wanted to, should have done this in my pre-live, to add pictures. And I guess it still can, so that doesn't drop me down. Well, let's see here. All right. Took a whole bunch of screenshots because since I'm on YouTube, you know me, all about perspective.
Yep.
Pardon the pun. So just bear with me for a second. Some of them are disturbing is an interesting word tonight. So BJ's broadcast was quite fun, huh, guys? Is there a certain limit in how many it'll let me do this? That's all I'm doing is clicking on screenshots to show you. That's what I'm doing now. Like I said, I should have done it before. I don't know why the hell I didn't. See if we're missing anything. Okay. All right. So the title is in reference to the daily flight that goes from Denver International Airport to Honolulu, Hawaii. It's a once daily flight via United Airlines. And literally 2 minutes to maybe 3 at tops. I think it was only like 2 minutes after departure, and I think it was like at 1 something. I think that the aircraft was a little bit late out of the airport. It was scheduled, I think, 12:15 or 12:30, right around there, and it left a little after 1 p.m. Denver time. So I think it's Mountain time. I think that's Denver time. Well, anyways, about 2 minutes after departure, around 13,000 feet, which is about between 8 and 9,000 feet above ground in the Denver area, because they're hovering around between 4 and 5,000 feet in the Denver area as far as the ground level of mean sea level, or MSL. So I want to say the aircraft was maybe between 8 and 9,000 feet in the air or so, above ground level, and close to pushing almost 13 something mean sea level altitude. And they had an engine failure on their number 2 engine, and it was a twin engine aircraft holding well over 200 something odd people with 10 crew members, and the right engine literally exploded in the air. Just went boom. This completely just went boom. Passengers heard a loud noise, and I'm about to show you. This is the result. Since I'm on YouTube.
Oh.
Right? Whoops, hold on. Okay, so there's another one. Okay, so what in the hey diddle do are we all looking at, folks? Okay, that's the front inlet part of the cowling of the number 2 engine. So the engine on your right hand side on the twin engine aircraft, that's the engine on the right hand side of the fuselage underneath the wing of a Boeing 777-200. That's the first thing. If you're in front of the aircraft, looking at the engine, this is what you would see. That's the ring portion of the very, very front end of the engine. And it obviously came off, and that's what it did. It barely missed that house.
Wow.
People saw this on the ground. Hold on, let me do something. Let me get that off for a second. Okay. So this one here. Take it from the ground. You can see a little bit of flame. Lots of smoke. The aircraft is flying fine. The engine was shut down. I think it took a few moments to shut it down, from what I'm hearing. Okay, so we'll do this one again. I'll bring this up.
Oh man,
Not supposed to see that, folks.
wow, that's
Again,
scary.
it's not life-threatening, in theory, and the debris.
Good day,
I'll show you.
Good day, Brent. Good day, mate.
So if you guys wondering why I'm not addressing you in comments, because I cannot see them right now, so I will address you and welcome you all on board in a moment. So just bear with me here while we're sharing these pictures. So what you're looking at is an engine made by a company called Pratt & Whitney. This is a Pratt & Whitney PW 4000 series engine. The diameter here, that fan, compared to the airplane and looking out the window, it kind of looks relatively small. I mean, if you sit next to it, obviously it's a massive engine. The inlet, just the inlet itself, not the external diameter. I'm not sure what the exact diameter with the cowling on the engine nacelle. But the fan blades themselves are 112 inches in diameter. It's capable of anywhere between 72 to 90,000 pounds of thrust. That's 75,000 to 90,000 pounds of thrust of takeoff power. So it's, as far as Pratt & Whitney is concerned, it's the largest engine that they make, but it's not the largest engine at all. So if you guys are familiar with a Boeing 737, its fuselage is not much, but pretty daggone close to the diameter of that engine. So there's another one. Okay, so we're going to blow this one up, just like we did with others. This one's a little hard to see because I wish you were able to see my cursor, which I don't think you can see my cursor on my screen here. But if you're looking at it right around in the middle, not necessarily exact middle, but pretty close. There's a couple dark spots there. There's one in the middle. There's another one that's kind of in the middle, on the bottom in the middle, just a little bit to the left. And there's one that you could barely see on the top right. And it's actually 4 pieces you're looking at there. One at the very top, almost in the middle. And those are pieces that are literally raining down from the engine. That one destroyed a truck. It looked like a pickup truck. I smashed into it. Nobody got hurt on the ground. Nobody got hurt on the aircraft.
That's good.
Thought I took a screenshot of the. It's not. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Where is this? There we go.
Oh.
How do you tell your insurance company that a piece of a United Airlines engine smashed your truck?
Ah, that's scary.
Completely totals it. How do you explain it? It's more of a rhetorical question, but obviously it had to have been done. I'm sure it already was.
Mhm.
All right, I don't know why. Still don't know why. Eric, you're fuzzy wuzzy. All right, a little bit better. Your camera was quite fuzzy there for a moment. This is what the inside of an engine looks like. So I don't know if you guys remember back in my Periscope days, did a walk around of a Boeing 767, which was a little bit smaller than a 777, next one down. Still wide body aircraft. I was at the Delta Museum, and we did a walk around in a hangar of a Boeing 767-300. And when I was walking around engines, I was describing how an engine works, how a jet engine works. So just to recap a little bit, I know it's a little bit boring for you. Bear with me here. Suck, squeeze, burn, blow. That's what we're taught. Okay, so the fan blades in front suck all that air in, and then kind of in the middle and the left, they squeeze that air. They pressurize that air. Then it goes through the combustion chamber, burns the fuel, the air and fuel mixed, and then you get hot gases exiting the back like a bat out of hell, which pushes the aircraft forward. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So that's what a jet engine does. So this other one that I showed you a few moments ago, that's what you're looking at. We'll bring it back on the screen one more time. loosen that. Here we go. So because the engine cowling is completely, almost to the point of completely missing, the only thing of the knuckle or the nacelle is what it's called. The cowling that's left is where it attaches to the wing. In the video that I took the screenshot that you're looking at now from, you can see the engine. It showed the engine vibrating like a bat out of hell. So it's still spinning. The blades were still spinning. At that point, I'm sure it's in the process of being shut down. And inside these engines, there's all kinds of safety stuff in there. So I'm sure at one point the pilots you have switches in the flight deck, and they're inside these engines. They literally have fire extinguishers inside the engine. They're not actual fire extinguishers, but they work the same way. I think they're called like fire bottles, and what they do in this case is I think that engine was being just a little bit stubborn. But that's what you were actually looking at, just the outer portion of the combustion chamber. That's why you saw a flame coming from it. Christy, welcome on board. Trying to scroll up on comments here. If I miss you, my apologies. Bernie, welcome. Nice to have everybody here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Sorry I didn't address you earlier. So, your comment, Christy. I'm almost speechless. Yes, we all are. Even those of us who either A, like myself, know a lot about the aviation industry, or those who actually are in the aviation industry. The biggest reason why anyone would be speechless, especially those of us who are in aviation, is nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt on board. Nobody got hurt on the ground, because there was a highly significant likelihood that that could have happened. And I'm sure that at one point it got pretty close where some people were just, can I say, like lottery quality lucky. Like they should have played the lottery today, and they probably would have won, because some of them were very close to where the debris hit. Oh, no worries, Christy. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that that's how, despite that happening, that's why airliners, number one, that's why they have at least two engines. Hey, Russell. So, Russell, we were talking about United Airlines 328 a few moments ago, saying how lucky everybody is. And, I said it before, but I'll say it again. Most of the luckiness came from not being hit by debris falling from the aircraft onto the ground. There's a significant debris field. Matter of fact, multiples. Takira, hi. Welcome on board. There's multiple debris fields scattered over a huge area. And they're, the police department cordoned those off. and they were reminding people that, as such rare event, the first thing somebody want to do is they want to go over there and be curious and touch it. And if this were to ever happen, you don't want to touch that. Because y'all could get in trouble. Not that anybody is from the Denver area that's watching or listening here tonight, but yeah, that's the wrong thing to do, because people actually tried to do that. People were being yelled at back in 9/11. Some of the debris from the aircrafts before the towers fell were on the ground, and people were literally touching it and picking it up. The same thing happened today, where people were exploring, if you will, the debris. And one, it's illegal both by federal standards and FAA standards. We won't necessarily get into that tonight, but I'm sure they just probably, anybody that picked up debris would just probably just get a slap in the face or something, just like, put it back down the way you found it or something like that. But then the possibility is there. It was going from Denver to Hawaii. United Airlines 328 is a daily flight from Denver. It's a 7.5-hour flight. In this case, I guess it's every day. I'm assuming most flights, especially with the same number, the majority of the time, it's 98, 99% of the time we lost Eric. Usually your flight's operated by the same equipment. That's why you see that word on your ticket. That's why it says equipment, and then it lists what the aircraft type is. So it was a Boeing 777-200 series, powered by two Pratt & Whitney 4000 series engines, which are the fan blades are 112 inches in diameter. So 9 1/3 feet, just the blades themselves. So the engine, so obviously what we saw earlier, I'll show it again, those who missed it. As you can see, it missed somebody's house just barely. Okay. And that's the ring portion, the very, very front end of the engine. In this case, it would be engine number 2, the engine that's on the right-hand side of the aircraft. So it'd be left if you're facing toward the aircraft, like if you're at the gate and you're looking at the aircraft and the aircraft's facing towards you, it'd be the left side, but the right side of the actual aircraft, if you will. So you can see where the blades would be in the middle, and then the ring around that for the cowling. Did this number, those of you just joining or missed it a few moments ago, there was something else. There was a different part of the debris from a different part of the same engine. So what you're looking at, you can see the inside of the engine. You can see the actual engine casing itself. That's the brown part on the outside of where the fan blades are. Okay. And then behind that fan blade, there's a whole bunch of really tiny blades. And what they do is they squeeze and pressurize that air. There's actually 2 compressors in there. There's a high pressure compressor and a low pressure compressor, both in there. Lots and lots of fan blades in there. That's what they do. And then where the flames you see there is just an outside skirts of where the combustion chamber is. So suck, squeeze, burn, blow is what they teach us. That's how an engine works, and it blows out the back. So that's right before the engine was either a shutdown or maybe they had trouble shutting down the engine. I'm not sure. We'll find that out in an investigation. Not sure how long the investigation will take. The NTSB. Anything. Well, I don't know. It's an interesting comment because we don't know if it's the same house or not, but there was a picture. I didn't take a screenshot of it, so unfortunately I can't see it, but it is on social media. There was an aerial shot that shot at a house. I don't know if it's the same house or not, but it was a above shot looking down at the roof of the house, and there was a big hole in a house. So I'm guessing that's the same house. I don't know if it is. It could be a whole separate house than what you just saw there with the front cowling. So in the aviation industry, what happened tonight, or actually today rather, is what we call an uncontained engine failure. That's a type of engine failure. What happened, folks? Okay. And an uncontained engine failure is when you have debris or something penetrates from within the inside of the engine to the outside of the engine. So the last time, I want to say the last time that something of this magnitude happened on a on such a scale that was an uncontained engine failure, somebody passed away from it. Now, obviously, everybody survived this one, and nobody even got hurt. But that was a Southwest flight. And same thing that was an uncontained engine failure. I think that was engine number 1 because that's on the left side of the aircraft. If you're sitting inside the aircraft, so that's the left side. Engine number 1 is always on your left side on the 2-engine aircraft. So engine number 1 would be on the left side, and engine number 2 would be on your right. So if you're talking like the big birds, so let's say like an MD-11, which is a 3-engine, 2 on each wing, or 1 on each wing, and then 1 on the tail. So engine number 1 left wing, engine number 2 would be the tail, engine number 3 would be right wing. If it's a 747 or Airbus A380 or A340, engine 1 and 2 are on the left wing, and then 3 and 4 are on the right wing. So that's how it works. Because during those incidents, and that's why pilots are as trained as... Oh, we lost fence. Eric, I'm going to bring you back up, bud. There we go.
What happened? Oh, Vince dropped?
Fence dropped. And I saw you were back on, so I might have been delayed on paying attention to that. Just click back on you. I was thinking we still having internet issues. But we're going to have to dedicate the entire broadcast just to that. We'll see how things go. But most of the passengers were rebooked on another flight to Hawaii. I don't know the exact status of that. I'm sure there's at least a passenger or 2 or 3 or 4 that either A, may not want to fly ever again, or maybe they just want to wait time and get their bearings together, and that's completely normal. That's okay. Things like this still happen, and it's okay to a point. Don't get me wrong. I mean, none of this is okay. One of the reasons why the cowling of an engine is as thick as it is. Hey, Rodman, welcome aboard. There's a couple reasons why the cowling is is as thick as it is. One is because it holds all the equipment around the engine. So you have the engine itself, and a lot of the equipment is on the sides of the engine. So if the cowling wasn't there, it'd be exposed, which is what you saw in those pictures. It's completely exposed. Like they have computers on those engines. It's a very fancy acronym called FADEC, or Full Authority Digital Engine Control, which means that the engine can diagnose itself. It could shut itself down if it needs to on events like that. That's probably what happened today, not only with input from the pilots as well. But then Pratt and Whitney was aware of what was going on. Usually live, that's what they can do, is these engines can digitally send signals to both maintenance facilities that United has, and then they can also send signals to the engine manufacturer as well, which is Pratt and Whitney in this case, and they can help diagnose problems even while you're airborne. So you say you remember that Southwest flight? That lady was. Oh, we're losing Eric again. Okay. That lady was from Albuquerque. I can't even talk. Sorry, guys. Albuquerque, New Mexico, just 2 hours south of me. May she rest in peace. That was really tragic. But the pilot of that was what, 1380, right? Yeah, Southwest Airlines 1380. And I have the book from the captain. There you are again. Okay. The captain of Southwest 1380 wrote a book about that story, and it starts off from her being real little on up and how she got interested in aviation and became a fighter pilot, and then worked her way up to the airlines, and then that fateful day happened where same thing, probably from a different reason, I'm sure, but it was still an uncontained engine failure. That one was, I think, one of the main blades left the engine, or exited the engine rather. So the front blades, as you saw earlier, are all intact. So it was something within the core of the engine happened. And as we saw earlier, it wasn't pretty. Not pretty at all. They engine manufacturers like that, they try really, 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 really hard to prevent at all costs these things happening. These things are not supposed to happen under any circumstance whatsoever. But yeah, that again, that's why those cowlings are so thick. It's because if it does happen, the idea is try to keep the debris within the engine. Usually, it's from like a crack in a blade inside the engine, got overlooked, or maybe the stresses inside the engine were too high. More likely scenario would be, excuse me, maybe they unknowingly hit something. That could have happened. We don't know that. So that's what the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, is on their way. They sent what they call a go team. Anytime a major incident like this happens, they send what's called a go team. And they're on call like 24 hours. And they have representatives from usually like have some type of aviation and engineering background. And they'll focus on different parts of the aircraft. So if for example, if it was an actual crash, there's people there that represent the engines. There's people there that represent, they look for the flight data recorder and flight cockpit voice recorder. Another person for like software, as far as like, okay, what were the instruments showing what they were supposed to. That's what they did for like the 737 Max or whatever, and that's how they found everything out. What they did is they'll focus on a specific area until somebody finds something significant, and then they put the puzzle pieces together. So in this case, they have to focus on the engine, and they have pictures and videos galore, which anybody took videos. If you haven't already, if you know somebody that actually took a video from it, I'm not talking about like sharing it from somebody else. If you legit actually took a photo of the aircraft or the debris or even video, if you haven't sent it over to the authorities, do it. If you know somebody that knows something, send it to authorities, because that's considered evidence at this point. That's why they don't want you touching the debris. That's why they mark them off, because where the debris landed, right now, those are legit crime scenes. Right now, they're actual crime scenes. That's how the police department and the sheriffs and whoever else is on board that investigation and the NTSB are treating it, because those pieces, where they land, how they landed, can give the investigators clues to why they separated from the aircraft, unlike what they were supposed to be. And so after all the investigation, we'll release that to the public. Yes, it will take a while. Okay, so most cases, aviation incidents take several months at the very shortest, at the extreme shortest. A lot of incidents and accidents, take a year, at least a year and a half is usually average for them to at least figure out what's going on and issue. If they can't issue a cause, because there's been aviation incidents, many of them, as a matter of fact, in the past, where we have a pretty daggone good idea of what happened and maybe even how it happened, but we still don't know the actual legit pure cause. Anything that happens in aviation, folks, of what I just showed you tonight, is always a chain of events. It's never one thing that all of a sudden. Okay, so there's all those memes and there's movies and movie lines, and people generally talk about it. Well, planes just don't fall out of the sky. In this case, we legit had that happen. It just happened to be debris from the aircraft. And, the aircraft itself, the aircraft itself is pretty lucky too, because that's what they want to find out. That's why you don't want to touch that debris, or anyone touching that debris, is because they need to figure out how, like I said, how it physically actually separated from the engine itself. Because what could have happened if it separated in a different way, or even from a different reason, what could have happened is that debris could have hit the back portions of the fuselage. I don't know this. I don't think the back portion of the fuselage at all, the horizontal stabilizer and the vertical stabilizer, I don't think it got touched or hit. Right. You have to be, I mean, it's just details. So there is no real time limit. But yeah, everything, all these right now, as far as anything outside of what was already shared on social media, what I'm sharing here, what you saw on YouTube, what you're seeing through Twitter, Facebook, wherever, that's a given. That's already public. And that's somewhat okay. A lot of times that's okay. But then there's a lot of times that it's not okay because they sit there and they have to figure out from those pictures, which is you don't always have videos, you don't always have pictures. So that's a tremendous help, which in theory, not that it will, but in theory, it might actually shorten, actually a good way, shorten the investigation a little bit because it's going to make the job of those investigators a lot easier. Super, super easier. What's up, BJ? So that's a blessing that they have that, and they have lots of them. They have at least 2 videos, maybe 3. There's at least 2 videos from passengers on board the aircraft. Okay. They have videos of people on ground sharing not only the plane, but debris from the aircraft. So this happened right after takeoff. So I want to say about 2 minutes after takeoff. Literally a few moments after the pilots contacted what we call departure frequency. So when you take off at a major international airport, you have the tower. That's not the first people that you talk to, but that's the first controller that you talk to at the very beginning of your flight. So you have the tower. They'll clear you for takeoff. And after a certain distance, it varies on the departure and it varies on at the airport. The amount of time that it can take, and then depending on how busy everybody is, usually on the air traffic controller side, is when they'll send you to departure control. So those guys, instead of looking out a window, which they could see you on the runway, rolling down the runway, and you're taking off, and they can watch you land on an air traffic control tower. Departure, just like approach is, and the same thing with the air route traffic control centers, is you're looking at computer screens and it shows the radar where the aircraft is. So it shows you where the aircraft is. It tells you how high it is above the ground, its speed, its direction of flight. It tells who the aircraft is, who it belongs to, its call sign. Hey, Chris. Hello from Denver.
Hey, Chris.
Well, welcome. So, yeah, we're talking about Denver today. Well, close. Oh, we're losing everybody here. We're losing myself now, too. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. How you doing?
I'm okay. Hello,
Good.
hello, everybody. And that was a funny thing you all did to my live earlier. Wow.
I thought it'd be a good idea to start over again.
So
I'm
no,
bored like you are now.
we never say anything
Yeah, did
on
I
your.
see something dropped out of the sky? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about, Chris. We're talking about United Airlines. We'll
Mhm.
talk about other stuff tonight too, but United Airlines 328 or 328 is usually it's a daily flight from Denver to Honolulu, Hawaii. 7.5 hour flight operated by the 777. In this case, it was a 777-200. 200 something passengers on board. I don't know the exact number. They said the exact number. I don't remember the exact number. And 10, I think it was 10 crew members, 2 pilots, and 8 flight attendants. And 2 minutes after departure, the number 2 engine, which is on the right side of the aircraft, had an uncontained engine failure, which means that parts and pieces inside the engine leave the engine, literally. And then breaks up the engine cowling. So what I'm thinking is I think it happened opposite this time. So I'm not sure if something happened within the core of the engine. This more looks like it's something with the cowling separated and exposed the engine. So at this point, nobody knows. I don't think even FAA or even NTSB don't know as of yet because it's way too early. Know exactly how that was, whether it's the cowling, something with the cowling, something was awkward or weird, and it separated and took parts of the engine with it, or something massive happened with inside the engine core that caused the cowling to separate too. So with the latter, if something happened within the core of the engine, not that they would, but there might be a likelihood that somebody probably end up, if not have already found a piece from the engine itself, not just the cowlings, because there's probably dozens of pieces of engine cowling all scattered all over the place. That's why the crime scenes, because they don't want y'all to touch it, because then that's how the investigators can help literally put the puzzle pieces together. Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
For new viewers, you're actually looking at the outer skirts of the combustion chamber, right where the flames are. That's why you can see the flames are more rounded than just doing whatever they are and burning up the entire engine. That's why it's only a part of the engine is like that. So that's, I don't 100% know this. Okay, because I'm not an engineer, but I'm thinking that's the actual, just the outer limits of the combustion chamber itself is what you're looking at. I'm pretty sure of that. It's now exposed, if you will. The screenshot from the YouTube video that I took the screenshot from to show you, because I don't want to show you somebody else's YouTube, because that's not permissible by YouTube. But I think you can see that engine was shaking like a bat out of heck. And we lost Eric again. Yeah, BG, you're frozen. Hey Joe, welcome on board. So Donnie Darko is trending and saw a picture of the cowling in someone's front yard. Yes. To give you a perspective of how actually big that is, just not only looking at it, comparing to everything that's around it, its surroundings. Okay, so the blades themselves, not the engine, but the blades themselves are 112 inches in diameter. So what, 9.3 something feet in diameter. Just a hair skinnier than like a Boeing 737. The entire fuselage of a 737. You can fit 3 people on either side of the aircraft or 6 abreast. Unlike either 9, if not even upwards of 10 people across on a 777, depending on airline and its actual layout. Everybody lived to tell a story. Nobody got hurt. Not even people on the ground got hurt. That's the most important thing of that. So yes, it's going to be very interesting to see what the NTSB comes up with. Is what happened. Like I said earlier, for those who just missed it, any aviation event, regardless of how simple it is, how complex, or whether people survive or whether there's loss of life, it's always a chain of events. It's never any one thing. Even the things that look like it's one thing, it's not. It's never any one thing that leads up to such events. Which is actually good because they sit there and you can go back in history and look at, because that's what they're going to do, is they're going to look at the maintenance records, not only of the aircraft itself, but they're going to look at the maintenance records of the engine as well. So a whole bunch of people today were lucky lottery type lucky. Interesting, Christy. I'm sorry that happened. Hopefully it's just a glitch. Well, but yeah, that's what will happen to a 26-year-old airplane. To you and I, 26 years old is nothing. But for an airplane, that's getting up there. It's like a senior citizen version of airplanes as far as usability. Yeah, I don't know why that happens, Christy. Like I said, I'm sorry. So there's lots and lots of pressure that goes on within those engines. But under normal circumstances, that's what an engine is supposed to do, is to contain any of the debris if that were to happen. So one of the best ways for something like that to happen is when they test a brand new engine, regardless of who makes it, whether it's General Electric or Pratt & Whitney, anybody. I'm hearing myself, guys. what they do is they have this large cannon at the factory, and they'll load literally like big, really like I'm talking like really heavy and really big dead birds into the cannon, and they literally shoot it into front of a running engine for certification purposes. And the idea is if the engine breaks up, okay, and if pieces do break off, that's what the cowling is for, which is also known as the containment ring. So you can see that in that picture, the actual containment ring.
I'm letting him know. I'm letting him know to please see if it's live immediately.
Okay. Sorry that happened, Eric, but I muted him here.
Yeah.
But because I think he's on Twitter. He had the
No, he's
boot
on
thing on.
He has his Periscope connected.
I'm gonna go check mine. I'll be right back. Okay.
Well, he's on Periscope because he went through Twitter, took him to Periscope.
I'll go there and I'll take them out. I'll be right back.
That brown. Okay. Not a problem. That brown thing in the front there, in front, that brown thing is what's called a containment ring. Because that's normally what's supposed to happen, folks, is if a blade were to separate from the engine itself, especially because of like for example, a bird strike or something, which was in the case of Southwest. No, it wasn't Southwest. But
All right, I'm back. I took them out.
You took them out. Okay. Cool. Let's see here.
That was a troll.
Yeah, I kind of noticed.
Did you block that troll?
Mm-hmm.
BJ did, yes. Let's see if I need to do it on my end.
I hate when trolls come on the line because they like to interrupt. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not letting me do that on my end. Why is that? I cannot join that to find whoever that is. Let me reward that. It'll let me rejoin on there, but it takes me back to where I'm already are right now. It takes me to apps. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that, folks. I already saw that. Trying to take that off. There we go. It's kind of depressing. So on broadcast, you can even see from the
Hello, Chris.
thing. Let me do this. Hey, Chris. So what occurred to the plane that disappeared out of nowhere to this day? Oh, flight 370.
Oh, that. Oh, the one that disappeared the face of the earth.
Yeah, nobody knows.
That's a mysterious
I
thing.
think it was Malaysian.
You at work, you can't come in. Okay.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, I think it was. I think so. Nobody really knows. That's a simple, short and sweet answer. Not that it's a sweet answer, but it's. Yeah, that's. We do know that it exit. It's a planned flight plan. We do know that it exited course. Um, but a lot of it's just rumors and good, educated guesses. Exactly, Chris. It did. It went somewhere. It definitely went somewhere. An ocean? Yes. Exactly where nobody knows. And that's the $1,000,000 question is why did that happen? Why did it happen or how it happened? We don't know either. Not one bit. They did find debris was washed up. But I haven't really been focusing on that story for quite a while now. Because at first I was optimistic, thinking that somebody would find something significant, but not enough where you can put two and two together. Not at all. Doing all right. I'm on vacation, so guess that's good. Speaking of vacation, I wonder how many people of the of that flight were actually legit on vacation versus actually just business travelers. I know some of them may not want to fly either ever again or just for a significant amount of time. So I'm sure they work their quirks out between themselves as a passenger and United. As far as that, there's procedures for that, and then everybody else was rebooked on a future flight. So I don't know the end story about that too. Last I heard, they were still in the terminal. I don't think they're still in the terminal as of right now. I don't know what United and how United exactly handled that situation, because sometimes that can be a case by case basis too, and it depends on how many hotel rooms are available or even open at this point. But you know, th- that's the benefit of a major airline is they have those kinds of resources where they can figure out what to do with you instead of, oh yeah, come back tomorrow. So we'll sit there and we'll cancel tomorrow's flight and let everybody come on the flight or however the heck they wanted to do. Actually, Chris, we don't know that. We don't know that. We would be hoping that those people are safe, but that's very fitting. Thank you very much, Chris, for the mind-blown award. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, your support and appreciation is always welcome here. Okay, Christy. Let's see if we can find anything else out. You gotta get up early, BJ.
Yeah,
Okay.
to get up early in the morning. But I will rewatch your live in the afternoon when I get out.
Okay.
And
Hey, BJ, you're gonna miss my surprise. So you have to watch my replay.
I'll watch your replay tomorrow. And that was horrific, that engine. I hope everybody was okay.
I hope so too. And like I said, that's actually a good thing for them to take, their time. Usually a month or two, maybe 3, anywhere from like 1 to 3 months or so is a good time where they bring out what's called an interim report, where it's not a final report. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
We know the cause, but usually they'll go on and they'll do like a press conference and say, okay, this is what we found so far, and this is how it's going along type thing. That always happens. So, I'll be bringing that live with you all too. I work with an
Vince is
individual who's
back.
extremely disruptive at night. I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. Welcome back, Vince.
Legend.
Okay, so the exact number of souls on board were 231 passengers on board. I was looking that up. That's why I'm not looking at you right now.
He just lost everything. So yeah, Vince, you just saw me come in for a couple moments and I had to get off now because I had to get up early in the morning.
But at least you had fun,
All
huh?
right.
Yes, I did have
Hi,
fun.
Bernie.
Made me laugh.
Stilly. All right, BJ. You take care. You have a good night's sleep.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks for being here. Yeah.
Have a good one, everyone.
All right.
So I try to stay away
Well,
from politics as much as I can.
Yeah, well, since BJ is heading to sleep, I've been. It's bad enough not to have you my surprise until tomorrow, because it's not for all four of us to be there at the same time. You know what I mean, Vince? It's bad without BJ there. He's the surprise person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all have lives outside of.
Yeah, so I might as well wait until tomorrow to tell my surprise, so BJ can be there. Because I know.
You're on Periscope. Okay. Not a problem, Elena. That's okay. We were talking about a flight earlier today, Alina, that had something massive happen. Nobody got hurt, thank goodness. But yeah, something that doesn't happen every day. Okay, so you bringing up links, Chris? Okay. Okay, I see. Gotcha. It is 12. delaying because it's like 15 seconds till. So we'll just round it up. 14 seconds to 12:44 in the morning, Eastern time here in the U.S.
Yeah, it's 9:44 here in Cali. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alina.
that's 3 hours.
I'm glad you're here though, even though you're on a different platform. That's okay. Nothing to worry about. So, Alina, to put this in perspective, in Doli, United Airlines 328, which is a daily flight from Denver to Honolulu, Hawaii, is departed Denver around 1 something, a little after 1 p.m. It was a little late. It's supposed to take off at 12:15 in the afternoon. You're just chilling at home. Cool. 4:44 p.m. Oh wow, no kidding. So goodness gracious, 16 hours ahead of us. Holy goodness gracious. So, yeah. 12, yeah, 16. Holy goodness gracious. 14 hours. That's right, Elena. Nobody was hurt. And there was a highly significance of this incident where somebody could have gotten hurt, not from the people on board the aircraft. The entire time, everybody on the aircraft, all the flight crew, the passengers, the flight attendants, everybody was perfectly 110% safe. Just as safe as if it actually didn't happen. You got the start of the broadcast. Okay, good. That's good to know.
How you been, Elena?
But and I'll explain why in a second. But there was debris from the engine number 2, the one on the right-hand side of the aircraft. Hello, Yodia. I think I'm pronouncing your name right. Welcome on board. Yeah, I know, Elena. I'm sorry.
Sorry, there's actually
That's
noise here,
right.
so I'm doing it.
That did happen today. That happened around a little bit after 1 p.m. Denver time, which is mountain time here in the U.S. Is it possible that the maintenance was not performed? They're going to look into that, Bruce. They're going to look into that. Doing good. Doing good. So just an unconventional way, but we can still see each other this way. It did not. It landed safely. I should have said that earlier. No, it landed perfectly safely. The engine stayed on the aircraft, just the outside portions, the cover, the engine cowling left the aircraft. And that's the whole basis of the investigation is nobody knows how, nobody knows why. So you're looking at the front part of the engine. So if you're looking, so for example, if you're in the terminal looking at the airplane, you're staring at each other. The airplane's facing you, rather. That's what you're going to see. When you look at the engine, that's the first thing you see. You see the blades and then this ring here, which is an outer portion of that. So that's the engine itself. Now, the outer portion of the engine, where the flames are, that looks, I'm not 100% positive, but I'm almost sure, is what you're seeing, part of the combustion chamber is actually exposed. That's why the flames are around and wrapping around the engine the way they are, and not, because that's technically actually doing it for two reasons. One, because at the location of it, of where the flames are. Two, because it's airborne, so the slipstream, the air traveling around on the outside of the engine, if you will, not just inside the engine. Because if it was outside there, the flames would be all over the place and it would be spreading to the wing. And that's not occurring, and it did not occur. So that's actually a very positive thing. So that tells me that the engine was still running at the time that this video was taken. This is a screenshot of a video that obviously a passenger took. Some person was forced to explain to his or her insurance company what in the world happened today. Yeah. I wonder how that'll be dealt with, because that's basically totaled the truck right there.
So
People
Don,
taking videos on the ground. That's what it looked like from the air, or from the ground rather, flying above. Even large airplanes such as that's what you're looking at right now, is a Boeing 777-200. And even large airliners like that, oh, I'm sure. And naturally so, Alina.
would be scared. I would be scared to land.
Naturally so. It'd get my blood pumping, even if I was a passenger on board that aircraft, which obviously I wasn't. Have nothing to do with the flight. But just to put in perspective for you all, it would still get my hairs risen on my back, and my blood pumping and adrenaline flowing. Definitely, it would. But airplanes are designed to actually run on one engine. Okay, so what I mean by that is, because of what happened today, you lose the engine. Hey Don.
Hey Don. Hey Don, what's going on, man?
To reword that, the aircraft is perfectly capable of maintaining flight with one engine. So everybody on board the aircraft were technically actually safer than everybody on the ground was. I kid you not. Okay, and I think I missed somebody's. Bruce, I apologize. Okay, so it's the fuel tank located in the wings on all planes. Most airliners have tanks in the wings at the very least, and a lot of them, including this one here, the 777-200, have center tanks as well, which is located in the fuselage as well. So yes, the wings do contain the tanks. That happened out of Denver International Airport in Denver, Colorado. So I wish I could share my screen. I don't know how to share my screen. Vince, do you know any way how I can share my screen?
You see where it says you see where on your
We can
end,
go
on the bottom. You see where it says present. I don't know if you see that. You see where
Okay.
it says present?
Yes. Okay,
That's
so
where
I just now
that's where you
clicked on
press
it. Okay.
to show something.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm doing that. It's kind of weird. Okay. Want to see. Okay, so I clicked on a different window here. What are you guys seeing? Vince, what are you seeing right now?
The flight path.
It says United 328 flight path.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. Okay. Awesome. This was taken from Flight Radar 24. So you can see on the top, flightradar24.com. That's what a cutaway of the engine actually looks like. So you can see the blades. You guys can see my cursor, correct?
What Alicia's last name? I don't think she mentioned her last name. Space Gal. Yeah, I don't know her last name. I don't know if she wants to bring that up. I don't think that would be the best idea, Bruce.
Yeah, I know her last name, but I'm not gonna bring it up.
Okay. Well, if you guys can see my cursor, so I'm pointing at the fan blades. So suck, squeeze.
Actually, I found it on Facebook.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna bring up her last name.
So suck, squeeze, burn. So where my cursor is right now is where that flame was on this side of the engine, left side of engine number 2, and then there's more turbine blades. These turbine blades that are in the back here, where my cursor is pointing now, actually turns these big fan blades in the front. That's how they turn. That's what causes them to turn. Okay, so basically the engine's powering itself, so to speak. Suck, squeeze, burn, blow is what they teach you in flight school. All right. There we go. That was pretty cool. Okay. Let's go back over because I couldn't see comments for a few moments. Earlier, there was a troll, Don. And the interesting thing, everybody else was able to ban him and block him, but I wasn't. Through my Twitter. And as long as Periscope is still there until March 31st, so everybody that goes and clicks on that link through the Twitter Live immediately automatically takes them to Periscope. But then if you go to Periscope, it shows that I'm not there because I'm not directly on Periscope. Yeah, something. So
Was that troll on another platform? Right?
yeah, that was a Twitter dude. Technically watching from Periscope because that's what they're doing until Periscope officially is done for after the 31st.
Right.
And that's why Eric said he was watching on Periscope because that is true. That is 100% true. You just go from you enter Periscope through Twitter instead of just directly going into Periscope. I've always hated that too. So what else have we been up to? Okay. All right. I'm going to put you guys on the spot. All right. Vince, you're up. What have you been up to?
Nothing much.
Okay,
Just chilling.
just chilling. Want to take a week off and have a vacation? I don't mean to rub it in, but
No.
I'm sure everybody can use a vacation at some point. I'm sure. Eric, what about you? How have you? I kind of already know, but same.
About what?
But now, just asking how what you guys have been up to. So I'm just addressing comments.
Chris and Bruce, if you want to ask Alicia her last name on her broadcast, you're more than welcome to ask her when she's live. Or, yeah. Yeah. It's best that way. It's best that way you ask her yourself.
So somebody, not because of today's incident, but United was already in the news. I don't know if you guys heard. I'm not too much into. Yeah, that's right. No drama, please. The person who is dealing with drama, a lot of drama, which is obviously not in this room right now, obviously for obvious reasons, but is a politician, even though I'm not. Don't worry about it, Chris. Don't worry about it, guys. That could be handled outside of here. Mr. Ted Cruz is in a little bit of deep doo-doos. I'm sure you guys heard about him last few days. But what's that have to do with United is because somebody that works for United, I'm not sure exactly what their position is, what their responsibilities are at work but somebody shared his flight details because everybody got mad at Ted Cruz because of what was going on and what's technically still happening in Texas. He decided to take a vacation. Those are my words, but he flew with his family to, I believe, Mexico instead of worrying because I guess he is from Texas. So that makes it matter even more. If you're from a different state, then, we would notice and slap on the wrist and no big deal. But he's represents Texas in Congress. And, yeah, people got mad because he was doing personal things when he should have been helping Texans. So now there's a United employee that shared flight details, and they're not supposed to do that. Love Ted Cruz. People are so mean to Republicans. Why don't we talk about Swalwell, him sleeping with a Chinese spy for years? Why? No, nothing, Chris. So I would bring you up, but you said you're at work, so I'd let you have your 2 cents worth. But I know nothing about that story, so I can't talk about it if I don't know about it. Yeah, he went to Cancun with his family. Because he's not doing what he is supposed to. That's why people are giving him flack for that. He's not doing what he was voted in for. Yeah, several died. Absolutely. Yeah, that's horrible. He didn't. I don't think he directly. I didn't hear any of the statements, but just I've heard like excerpts of that, and we as humans, we all make mistakes. All right, take care, Don. We all make mistakes, but at the same time, he's claimed that he was second guessing himself. Whether that's actually true or not, I don't know. Heard they lost power, heat. One couple had their car and keep warm and died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah, that's that's a bad way of trying to stay warm. Oh, we lost Derek as well. That's okay. It says hour, so I'm assuming you meant house. Someone else lit a gas grill in their house and blew it up. Another used a gas heater that wasn't good either. He's coming back. Guys, I don't know why we're still talking about that. Also saw a 100 car pileup in Texas, in Dallas. Yeah. Here's my inside joke, and it's not really a joke. I'm just kind of using the word joke because it technically kind of sounds like it's mean, but because what I do for a living involves traffic, even though it's in a parking lot. I've been known to be a little sarcastic in the past too, and so lucky I'm not Elon Musk's competition right now. Either A, working for him or uh or a competitor, director or otherwise, because regardless if it's legal or illegal, and I'd find a way to make it legal, which I don't think it is, but I would find some way of um, building a car that has no brake pedal. I would legitimately make cars with no brake pedals. Hello, Charisse. Welcome from Chicago, Illinois. Awesome. Love Chicago. Glad he wasn't there. Husband got a new job in Dallas. I was used to commute to there. Now he works from home. Wow. That's the whole point of why I came up with it, because yes, it is dangerous. But it's one of those things where the reason why I mentioned that is because I could be wrong, but the way I view it is, and I'm not pointing to anybody, any viewers, anybody in the broadcast or not. Okay, so don't take this personally, but a lot of people drive as if the brake pedal wasn't there anyways. And that's where I come up with that. If you have something in front of you in the street, a pothole, a traffic cone, an emergency vehicle, a cop car, a tow truck, a fire engine, an ambulance, you name it. And or a pedestrian in a crosswalk. Now, I'm not sure what Texas rules are in comparison to Ohio's driving laws. Okay. But okay, Elena. All right. You guys take care. Um but you know, every state's similar in respects. Every state has their own quirks as far as specific things within driving laws that are a little bit different than maybe another state, and it is what it is. Okay. And if you live in that state, you're familiar with it. You go to another state, you may not be familiar with it. I get that. But if you have a pedestrian in a crosswalk, at least here in Ohio, they don't care where the crosswalk is. That pedestrian has the right of way in the crosswalk. Now, there's more to the point, obviously, for obvious reasons. Okay. But in a parking lot, you're a pedestrian, you have the right of way. Even if you're not in the crosswalk, if you're in the parking lot, you on foot have the right of way, period, in the story. And people will, they don't floor it, but they'll push the gas pedal a little harder and they're going a little bit faster, whether it's a mile or 2 an hour faster than what they already are, or they'll maintain speed and they'll go around you. And you know what that tells me? Working the traffic all day, doggone day, is number one, you as a driver don't want me there. If I'm using myself as an example, as a pedestrian, you don't want me there. I'm in your way. I slowed you down. How dare you, Ryan, to slow me down? You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be there. I need to make groceries faster. I need to get in the store faster. Every parking lot set up different than on one, you know, in where I work in. But our parking lot is where you have to cross where cross traffic is between your car and the building, and then vice versa from the building back to your car. So those very people that sit there and going around you and sit there and wonder why the hell you're in their way, right? Sit there and they're going to be the same people wondering why other people are passing them when they're walking, almost getting hit by cars. So physically, I don't think it's really dangerous. This is dangerous because that would be something that nobody would be used to. That's what would make that dangerous, as far as no brake pedal. Matter of fact, actually, Tesla's already doing that. But instead of eliminating brake pedal, they're doing it in a different way. They're eliminating the I'll call it a gear shift, but the transmission on their cars, or they're trying to. I think they have working prototypes where the car automatically goes into gear when it thinks it's supposed to. It automatically goes into reverse when it thinks it's the right time and place to do that. It goes into park all by themselves now. So those are the new Teslas that Elon actually is legitimately working on, where the car actually thinks for itself and, okay, well, you sitting somewhere, so the computer's gonna put the car into park for you. So I don't know. There's cases where that could be a little iffy, because I'm sure it'd have a decent computer on board to make those decisions. But I've been at stoplights where I'm literally waiting for 6, 7 minutes, and I don't know about you guys, but I've been in intersections where you're waiting 5, 6, 7 minutes. I don't know if I'm exaggerating or not, but maybe 7 or 8 miles down the street, there's a big hill, and it's a 5-way intersection. It's a 5-way intersection, so you could go in 5 literal different directions. So it's not like Okay, well, you either go straight or you can only turn left and you can turn right. You can turn 5 different ways. You keep going straight from where you are, you have 4 different options from there. And because it has 5 options in that intersection, right? Only one direction, literally one direction. I'm not talking cross traffic. I'm talking one direction. One, count them, one goes at a time. So let's say you're first. Okay, so if the light goes on your side, you're first. So the people that are exactly opposite of you, they're not allowed to go. They still have the red light. And it's on a huge hill. And it's a very, extremely, very, very, very busy intersection. And then they all take turns. And by the time they sit there and take turns, you're there at least 5 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes. Because you sit there and you can get there and sit there. And if you're in that Tesla better work right, because sit there and now you're sitting there so long, so now the car's going to think that you're parked. Now, it has sensors in front of it and on the sides and in the back. But does autopilot actually know that you're sitting at the red light or even a stoplight or a stop sign rather? I don't know. I don't think it does, especially if it's a certain distance from the car or a certain height. Maybe it's a little higher than normal because the orientation of your car. So maybe it's not reading the red light. Or maybe it's a GPS thing. Maybe it doesn't know that you're actually at the intersection. So that'll be really interesting. You know. So to me, how's that any different? I don't know. Okay, so I got people beat by 5. You see that, Eric? I don't know what you're seeing on your end.
What?
I'm showing
What?
255 on my end, and I already did it. I already met the qualifications for this week, so this is still week 4. But like I said, it wasn't a promise, but it's more of a good thing because of what happened to me earlier or whatever. They say keep going for the apps challenge thing. You know, I'm taking Uke's word for it. You know, you no longer have, once you already there, you don't have to put the apps challenge hashtag in every single broadcast and still see others doing it. And that's all right. That's their prerogative to do that. But God, that saves space in the title, doesn't it? Not having it, not needing it there, because that takes up a lot of the title. I'm showing 258 on my end on the eyeball, and usually you go live at 10, right? So it should be 10:17 on your end. Still going live tonight, Eric? On your end?
No, I'm waiting until tomorrow.
You're gonna wait till tomorrow?
BJ is asleep, but it's asleep and everything, you know, because he has to get up early, you know. I'll wait till tomorrow to go live.
Okay. All right. And no guarantees, but I have a better chance of joining you live tomorrow. So it wasn't exactly a fun broadcast, but it was something. So thanks earlier to BJ and Vince earlier for being here. And then thank you for being here as well, Eric. Always appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, I just didn't want to bring. I just didn't want to bring any personal info to anyone. Like
I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna kill that real quick, and that's what I tried to do. Next time we're gonna be a little quicker.
Yeah,
that's me being nice, but for those of you, if any of you don't know this, I have been known to be really quick on some things. Sometimes I'm so quick that nobody knows what the hell's going on until they sit there and all of a sudden they're facing pardon the word, but punishment, because it's not always punishment. It's just a lack of better terminology or word or lack thereof. But in person, I've been known to be so quick to the point where people almost think that it causes more problems than it actually solves sometimes. Yes, my coworkers, I'll tell you that. Because sometimes I notice those things real quick. So because I was going back and forth, I wasn't really noticing that a lot less than you guys. Well, you guys were paying attention to that. Thank you very much for doing so. I was sharing the screenshots at the same time I was sharing my screen at the very same time, multitasking. And when I do that, I have to scroll all the way to the right. And when I scroll all the way to the right, I can't see comments. And then I scroll back over and then I can see them. I remember that broadcast that you were reading all my comments for me because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. You know what I figured out later? I did some digging. You know what the hell I did?
What?
It's before I discovered I can even scroll to the right.
Huh.
Because before, we didn't need to do that. I don't know if that was everybody, but before, on my end, on my computer in Hap Studio, I didn't have to scroll all the way to the right to see everything on the screen, and then back left to see the left side. I could see the whole screen and nothing but the whole screen. So help me God. Now you have to scroll. So I don't know if that's a new thing or something just kind of randomly appeared, but I think that's what happened is I ended up touching. I'm so used to using my touch screen, and this wire here got in the way, and it laid down on my keyboard, and it scrolled the screen just enough where I only saw like 2/3 of the last portion of every comment, having you to read all of them. I think that's what I did. I'm pretty sure that's what I did.
Yeah.
And we got through that. And that's how I discovered ever since then I saw the bar, and I'm thinking that's probably because I scrolled the bar and didn't realize, not even knowing that it was there at the time. So now I pay attention to that. Like white on rice. So I'm at 262 right now. So, and it's all right, we're going to round up. All right, 122 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm going to haps on down.
Yeah. It's best to end the live, you know, since you already made it. Well. I mean, one
like
thing
Bon
you didn't
Jovi
put
says,
in your
we're halfway
title
there,
is,
right? For most of us.
Yeah, almost. But one thing you didn't put in your title is half challenge.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Uke says, we no longer have to do that.
Yeah.
And Pablo and Peter never mentioned anything about it either. And believe me, they would have told me when I addressed those other things. He would have said something in the in the thing,
you know
saying,
what?
okay, well, you need to put it in every time, because he would have told me, oh, because that would be because you didn't put the title in, or the hashtag in.
Yeah.
But
you know,
he thought I wasn't multicasting, and then I showed, halfway there.
Yeah.
Some are at 5 weeks already, but this is the second broadcast of my 4th week. Just to, like I said, I said something in, I think it was in Uke's broadcast. I was one of her guests, and I said something about maybe I should do it multiple times every week. Not that I really am going to, or even have time to do that, because like I said earlier, we all have lives outside of Haps. So Christy says, you're back, but you have to go to bed. They put me on O2 center for the night. All right, you take care, Christy. Thank you for stopping in for a little bit. And we're losing Eric anyways. Hey, Pete. Well, stay on a little longer. I was about to end here in a few minutes, but we'll stay on for a little bit longer. How you doing, Pete? Welcome aboard. Yeah, be well, my friend Christy. So hopefully everything's good on your end, Pete. Thank you for hopping on board. We were talking about United Airlines 328 earlier. Suffered an uncontained engine failure out of Denver International Airport. It was yeah, one of my viewers was asking, and I was only like halfway paying attention to it. Some of my guests were noticed it more, Space Girl. So my apologies. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but that's how it should be. If we're asking about a person, we should ask directly to that person, not a third party about somebody else. And that's what was going on here tonight. So I have no idea exactly what or why it was happening. But it took me a little while to hush him up, so to speak. Believe me, I don't like that. I talk about somebody that's not here unless they're, it's a positive thing, and I don't know what the hell is going on. So Bruce, does that mean, I know you're replying to Space Girl? You thinking that Space Girl is Alicia? Am I following
Yeah,
you
yeah. Space
correctly?
Gal is Alicia. Yeah,
So
Space
maybe it's
Gal is
just a
Alicia.
miscommunication or something. I'm just
Maybe
paraphrasing
there's a
here.
troll going around or something, but I haven't seen it.
But
I haven't seen it.
we had a troll
I
earlier.
haven't seen it.
It was a male
I
troll.
wouldn't know though.
But I know two Alicias. I know an Alicia from Periscope, and then I know Alicia. And the Alicia that I am familiar with usually watches me on YouTube, not here. And this person was on Twitter, so I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. I don't know anyone else named Alicia except for Space Gal here. I only know her.
A lady from YouTube, that's Alicia. And
Oh yeah, Alicia. Alicia
she's
is
not
the
a
one.
troll. And matter of fact,
Yeah.
actually, when I joined BJ's live not too long ago, a couple hours ago, she was watching me on Twitter. Not on Twitter. My apologies. She was watching me on YouTube. That's how we met. And she seems pretty cool. She seems pretty cool. And matter of fact, I hopped into my live because she was on my YouTube channel. So I actually made her my first YouTube moderator. So if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does. But she was even being silly at one point, right, Eric? And that's how things got to where they were in BJ's broadcast earlier. We were having a good old time. And no, I don't think she's here right now because I would have seen her comments because I could see it both on YouTube and here, but she wasn't here on my end. But she was with me on my channel when I joined BJ's Live earlier, not too long ago. But no, she seems like she's a sweetheart. Kind of pretty too. I have to admit. I was only trying to find her because she seemed cool. Her name, I found her on. Oh, okay. So you still talking about Alicia Bruce? Yeah, she's not here. I don't think she's here at all, but she's not here. She's not on HAPS, the platform. Is what I mean by that. So actually, in both senses of the speak, she's not here. She's on. You'll find her. You can find her on YouTube. And like I said, I made her one of my YouTube moderators. As a matter of fact, I think my first YouTube moderator. I think. I'm pretty sure. So I had 2 people watching me on YouTube earlier. There was gentleman by the name of Anthony. He doesn't have a picture, but I tend not to worry about that too much. Some other people get concerned that, oh, they don't have a profile picture, but to me, it's more of a moot point unless you prove either end of the spectrum. So that's the story. But yeah, I mean, if you think she's cool, I mean, I think she's pretty cool too. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I could do it now or when I hamps down, I guess. But I was trying to look at her profile and it wouldn't let me look at her profile on YouTube. So you wanted her screen name to find her on YouTube. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't answer that. I don't know why we were talking about other people. I like Space Girl. We don't talk about not her or anybody like that. You did find her? Cool. Cool. So Pete, sorry about that. We didn't mean to go on that little tirade, but the plane, United 328, landed safely. Okay. So the plane itself is perfectly healthy. The engine is anything but. Okay. So we did this several times, but I'll be more than happy to do this again. That's the plane right there. Let's see, engine number 2, which is on the right. This one is smoking. Actually on fire. Sort of. Causing this to happen. Took that screenshot from a YouTube video from a passenger on board the aircraft. And if you were to watch this video from YouTube, it's easily search it. It's just, just put UA328 in there and YouTube and Google will know what you're referring to automatically with almost little to no effort. But yeah, you're seeing the engine itself. There's no engine nacelle or cowling whatsoever. Nothing. Just the pylon that holds it, that attaches to the wing. So what you're seeing there is that brown portion right there in the front is the engine casing itself of the actual engine. It's called a containment ring. You got the blades, and then you got the compressors in the back, or in the middle and the back, and then you got if Space Girl, if you're still here, let me know, because I could be wrong on this, but I'm thinking what you're seeing is an exposed portion of the combustion chamber. I'm thinking that's what we're seeing here. I'm thinking that's why you're seeing it the way you're seeing it right now. So, is the engine necessarily on fire? I don't know that. But I'm thinking part of the combustion chamber, because that's right where in the location right where it is. Let me see if. Yeah, good photos from amateur photographer on the ground. Yes. Okay, so I will take that as an absolute confirmation. Space Girl was on fire. Okay. And I did. I mentioned that earlier. There was a highly likelihood that it hit something, most likely a bird. Around 13,000 feet, I want to say. There we go. Okay. Give it a second here. I'm trying to share my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Oops. Why did that? Okay. So let's go here. That's from Flight Radar 24. Right about where the aircraft is, right there, is where it happened. So I don't know why you're not seeing that now. Before I was showing altitude, but I'm thinking around 13 something thousand is where that actually happened, or so. Pretty close to around 13,000. They just contacted departure, and not too long, literally a few moments after contacting Denver departure, is there we go. Okay. Yeah, it scared the living heck out of everybody. I did mention Space Girl could probably confirm this or more, but I'm thinking that everybody on the aircraft itself was actually more safer than the people on the ground due to flying or falling debris, rather. Those aircraft are designed where it can stay airborne to a point with one engine. Because that's what it does. It gives you options. So it did. I landed back in Denver. So that's what you were just seeing there was that actual flight path. And matter of fact, Space Girl actually it's very difficult, very difficult to see. Just the one that I took a screenshot of. And there's a lot more. Hold on a second. Alright, so I don't know how good this screenshot was from the, as you can see, that was a YouTube video, and I took a screenshot from that YouTube video. There's a few in the middle of the screen, and I think there's one on the top right. So you're seeing 4 pieces of debris in that one as well. Let me scroll back over here so I can see comments. You saw that video. But yeah, that's obviously that's not the only one. They had pictures of the plane itself from the ground, debris. There's a house with a hole in the roof. I did not take a screenshot of that, or I'm not able right now to show a picture of that. But they're all over social media. The front of the engine itself. Posted a video of debris in the ground to your apps page. Okay. Cool. Oops, hold on. I'm gonna look at it right now. The description was they heard a loud bang. They as in the passengers. Because it was a loud bang. That's what it would cause. It would be noticeable. So, for those of you guys not knowing, what I'm looking at now on my phone is what Space Girl posted from Pete Montaigne. FAA investigation for catastrophic engine failure. Obviously, because of the amount of information that I know as far as not this particular incident, but of aviation, I know that investigations take quite a while, and for good reason. So I almost feel premature asking you this, but you think we're looking at the better portion of a year and a half, Space Girl? What would normally happen on an actual, in this case, is an incident instead of an accident, but I know a lot of accidents are between 12 to 18 months. I know they sent an NTSB Go team. I do know that. A year usually. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully we'll probably in a few months from now we'll probably get a press conference, I'm sure. Like they normally do. Some kind of interim report where what they found in the meantime, and then just kind of be patient and let them do their things. Preliminary report will be released in a few months. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So you better believe it, folks. The Space Girl and I will be definitely talking about that when it comes out. Definitely, I'm sure. That's something. That is totally something. I mean, some people were saying, I don't know how true it is, but I want to say that it's true that there are some that are probably not wanting to fly either at all, ever again, or just for a significant amount of time, and then anybody else got rebooked. It's migration season right now. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. So if it was a bird, I'm thinking it's safe to imagine that it could be similar to um was it 1549? Because in that case that was multiple birds, but then in that case that was both engines. And nothing that I know of got separated from those engines on Cactus 1549, but you know, I would imagine how it happened. That would be, I'm pretty sure either one massive bird or at least a few birds. I would imagine, right? Had to have been more than one bird. So you probably know this more than I do, especially knowing that it's migration season. Who all, as far as like species, who all flies at 13,000 feet? So in the Denver area, what is that? Give or take anywhere between 8 to 10. Kind of rounding that down and then rounding it way up as far as maybe anywhere between 8 to 10,000 feet above ground level. I'm thinking they were. That was Bannerman. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, this happens a lot more than people realize, depending on the size and how many. Yes. Yeah, Space Girl is absolutely right, folks. Ducks. Okay. Yeah, how are you, Bannerman? How are you hanging in there? I knew you were tired earlier. Here in Ohio, it's 1:47, almost 2. All birds use the jet stream to migrate. That's high. So 13 ain't got nothing on them. Are you? You want to come up? You're more than welcome to come up if you want. I'll invite you anyways, and if you want, you can. If not, then. And then Space Girl, if you you're more than welcome to come in as well. I'll go ahead and send you an invite, and that I will let you guys have the final determination. If you guys want to come on board, this guy. My mom's sleeping, so best be quiet for once. Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. Yeah. So that's why I let you guys, when I send those invites like that, that's why I let you guys have that final determination. 'Cause I think that's the way it should be, anyways. We can't kidnap you. Can't force you to be there. Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was anything that you could add for us, but yeah, some dude, or maybe it was a female, I don't know. Some person saw a pickup truck got destroyed by the debris, getting a hole in the house. The front portion in the front. Like we all saw. Absolutely nuts. But if you guys want, if you haven't already, especially Space Girl, is I don't know if you're familiar with VAS Aviation, VAS Aviation. It's all one word on YouTube. But he does things like this where he'll talk about things like this. And it doesn't always have to be this severe either to get somebody's attention. And he does very short YouTube videos. And he integrates the air traffic control tapes into his videos. So let's see here. All right. Oops. Hold on. Okay. So there you go. That's his YouTube channel. Again, as you can see, that's only 5 minutes, and he did one actually earlier today. That was so that was 6 hours ago, and he has 39,000 views on that. And then the one before is he talked about a Cessna busting the Bravo airspace at Orlando. That has 30,000 views. So that was the one immediately before. And if you guys want an actual pilot's perspective, I'm talking like an airline pilot's perspective. I have yet to watch it, and it's 21 minutes and 26 seconds on YouTube. And I follow this guy. He's a legit airline pilot. Not only is he an airline pilot, but he's type rated on a Boeing 730, or I'm sorry, a Boeing 777, the 777. I'm not sure if he flies the Dash 200 or the Dash 300 version. I'm not sure. But matter of fact, a few months ago, he just got re-qualified because he had a medical issue and had to redo his Class A medical. So the gentleman that I'm talking about is Juan Brown. Thank you, Frank, for the high award. I appreciate you. Thank you. His name is Juan Brown, and his channel is called Blanco Lirio. Okay. So it's posted 2 hours ago. He already has 20,000 views on it. Again, it's 21 minutes, 26 seconds. So anything that you found out between myself and Space Girl earlier was nuts or eye-opening or just speechless. Somebody mentioned from Montreal. But
Nice,
you're getting us
food
something,
that saw him,
Eric, huh?
saw him leave 2 minutes ago. I went and went to get water.
Cool. So that's Blanco Larry's channel. And then I click on videos. Obviously, that's a. So if you're looking for it, oops, hold on. There we go. The one on the very top there. I know I'm fighting my camera. I'm sorry, guys. The one on the very top, it says most recent. Talks about United Airlines 328. So we'll get even more perspective, and I will watch it. If there's anything that I need to share, I'll go and share it, but probably nothing significant. But the point is that he knows what I don't, because he's a real airline pilot and he flies that very type of aircraft. He's a first officer, so that's his position. He's not a captain. He's a first officer, which honestly, that doesn't mean a daggone thing. That just means he gets to sit on the right side of the flight deck and not the left. And he's very, very well versed in talking about incidents like this as well. So, matter of fact, actually, I think around the beginning of the month, there were a couple, because he's an ex-military pilot as well. Juan Brown is. And he's from the Blanco Lirio channel. Follow him, or at least watch his videos. He's pretty fun to watch. And he gets kind of technical, but for those reasons. And he gets technical to the point where even if you don't know a thing about aviation, you still kind of have an idea or a good understanding of what he's describing. He's very good at that. And several videos back, he was talking about, because he's prior military as well, he's a former brother in arms. There were a few, literally like back-to-back military helicopter accidents. And he noticed something that even the military didn't realize. So there's a specific type, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's a specific type of helicopter that more and more these soldiers and these airmen in them are going on training missions, and they're crashing the aircraft. And in those cases, there was loss of life. And he noticed something that nobody else did notice. And he brought it to the attention on. So that's how significant he is. He has connections where outside the airline industry, outside of the military, where he noticed a safety flaw in not only certain procedures, but in the aircraft themselves, where it made everybody just stop and just like take a look at it. Like, it brought it to the attention, and rightfully so. So, again, that's another reason to follow him, because he knows what the heck he's doing. I kind of do. I know all about aviation, but I can only fly 2-seaters. I don't fly no 777s. And probably won't ever. Don't think I'm being mean to myself, because I'm not picking on myself, but I don't think I ever will. Not that I don't want to, but at 38 right now, and then because of what's going on, it ain't gonna happen. You all right, Eric?
Yeah,
I'm
the
getting water too.
went down the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Like,
I know, right?
when I drink water or something
Mhm.
out of a bottle or a cup, it goes the wrong way, goes down the wrong way, and
Oh,
that always happens. I hate that.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry that happens.
So it looks like Space Gal left, and
She
Bruce
might
went
have.
to bed,
Yeah. Yeah, she probably fell asleep.
and
Frank
Frank
is still here.
was here for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and Bannerman was here for a little bit, but his mom's sleeping, and
Yeah.
he's wide awake, so you never know. You never know what's gonna happen later.
The last I looked, or last I paid attention, it was 2:58, and then Pete came in, and then everybody else kind of joined too a little bit. So now I'm at 3:26. At least that's what I'm seeing on my end. I'm at 3:26. So, well, it's
But
2 o'clock right on the dot here in the east side.
yeah, and you already hit your
I blew it out of the
your
water
goal and
again.
stuff, and the funny thing is, you were gonna head off. You were gonna head off like 30 minutes ago, and then
I know.
Space Gal came
I'm
on,
almost
and then
2.5
Bannerman
hours.
came on, and Pete came on. They wanted to
Right.
say hello and everything.
Yeah.
And Frank, Frank
Yeah,
also.
I'm not
but-
like that. A lot of periscopers used to do that too. Somebody come right in and sit there and you know scope down, and they come in and stay a little bit longer out of courtesy and respect. So I try to do that as much as I can.
Yeah.
I'm going on almost 2 hours and 28 minutes here in a few seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna thank you for being here, dude. Always
Yeah, no problem.
always look forward to your support and everything. Always enjoy your company.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably a good idea because I gotta take a piss. So instead of abandoning you for a few moments, I might as well just hap some down. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I can stay up however the hell late I want because I'm on vacation.
Yeah. I went to
chilling.
sleep. I went to sleep at like this morning. I went to sleep at like 4, and then
Oh wow.
and then I always get up at noon. I always get up
Mm.
at noon. I always get up at noon because
You always get up at noon.
But sometimes I sleep. I go to sleep early because my brain is.
And he drops. All right, folks, we're gonna call it a night. So, oh yeah. Good night, Eric. Good night, Frank. Good night, Bruce. Spice Girl, Bannerman, everybody else, Pete. He's trying. He's really trying. Mhm. Almost. Almost.
There we go. Yeah, it
There you go.
knocked me out of the live for some reason. I don't
I
even
saw
know.
that.
But yeah. I always it's Brandon. Brandon popped in.
Yes, sir.
Another person popped in.
Hey, Brandon. Did that with the
Oh,
BJ
yeah.
scope hop in the last few moments and doing it now. Go ahead and watch the replay. You don't have to watch the entire replay. Some of it's repeated after itself, but we're talking about a major aviation incident that happened earlier today. Nobody got hurt. Yeah, it's scary stuff. And I described it earlier. You'd be a little scared on the airplane, but if you know what I know about aviation and how the industry works and the confidence in the pilots and the flight crew and everything, that I will argue all day long that everybody on board whether you're a pilot or a flight attendant or a passenger, doesn't matter. In this case, you're actually safer on board the aircraft than you were underneath the aircraft on the ground. Again, nobody got hurt. It's not that anybody knows, because as of right now, there has been no reports of injuries, just property damage. So watching the final 2 periods of Knights Ava game in Lake Tahoe. Who won? Never get scared flying. Takeoff and landing does sometimes make me nervous.
I get scared. Yeah, I get scared sometimes when I'm on a plane. You never know what's gonna happen because I get scared a little bit. I'm like.
I could talk you through live exactly what's happening and how it's happening right then and there. Avalanche. Okay.
But if it's a smooth sailing flight, like if it's like from here to Vegas, then I don't have to worry. But like if it's like a longer flight, like if I'm flying in New York or something, then that's scary because the weather is scary with the turbulence and everything and all that stuff.
Well, flying through the weather can cause that. I mean, you have clear air turbulence where you don't see it and you can bounce around a little bit, but once you're usually at cruising altitude, you're usually above the weather. And it's a lot thinner, but most of the time it's a lot smoother. They did have, I didn't mention this earlier, but when I listened to the air traffic control tapes earlier, they did say they did get it's what's called a PIRIP, PIRIP, which are their pilot reports. That's basically what that is. And they reported that there was moderate turbulence for quite a while on their climb. So it happened not too long after. A few of my buddies were on a Southwest flight several years ago, flying from Baltimore to Boston. During takeoff, my buddies treated it like a roller coaster, climbing, and the pilot said to the guys in the back, "Please keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. Thank you."
like you're at a theme park or something. Like, please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride at all times. Thank you.
Yeah, some of them have some.
Yeah,
interesting humor.
I've been to Disneyland so many times. I love Disneyland. I know I love Disney and everything. But whenever I hear that all the time on every single ride, it gets tiring of hearing keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride at all times, and please watch your kids. But like
Eric actually ran a roller coaster for a year of my life. Well, a season, it's not an entire year, but it's a year to a theme park. We use it's no longer active. It has been for quite a while now, but we Southwest does have a good sense of humor. Absolutely. There was a theme park not far from where I live that used to be in Aurora, Ohio.
What was it? What was it?
They called it Jug Lake.
wait, what? What was it?
Named after the lake that it was actually built next to. And they called it Jaga Lake Amusement Park. And it was owned by Cedar Fair, which is the same company that owns Cedar Point. So if you've ever heard of Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, they owned, because it's past tense, that theme park. So it was a lot smaller theme park. And back in the heyday, they actually had SeaWorld a part of it. So on one side of the lake would be SeaWorld, and on the other side was Jaga Lake. It used to be quite a popular theme park. Not as popular as like Cedar Point or anything. And then it just kind of started going downhill from there. And then for a couple years, I want to say 2 or 3 years, Six Flags tried to save it. They tried to do the same thing that Twitter tried to do with Periscope, and ended up going. But no, they legitimately, Six Flags legitimately, actually actively tried in vain to save the park at one point. So they bought it out for like a couple years. They bought it out for a couple years, and then they sold it back to Geauga Lake. And things went way downhill from there. But I actually did operate. It was called. I think they called it Nick at Night. I think that's what it's called, and that's actually a military thing too. But the theme park had nothing to do with the military. But it was a yellow floorless roller coaster. Nothing terribly too intense about it, but it had 4 inversions. Got to be the person standing at the podium to push a button, make the trains go or stop. Push the buttons to lock your harness in there.
Yeah.
So I did that for one season. That was fun. It was more of a happy accident because I had a season pass for a couple years, and then I was offered the position.
Yeah, I haven't been to Six Flags in like 18 years, something like that. 18, 17, 18 years, something like that. But no, well, actually, let me rewind that. I haven't been to not Disneyland, Six Flags in, gosh, it was way before that. It was way later than that. So it might have been 8 or 9 years, something like that. Maybe 10.
The actual name what they had was called Dominator. I forgot the name of it. It's called Dominator. That's what Geauga Lake had it.
Yeah. But yeah. I have never been on a roller coaster that had a loop in it. I have never been on one. Never been on one. No, I've been on this. It was
a big roller coaster. It wasn't massive, but it was kind of like a moderate roller coaster, but it wasn't severe as far as.
Yeah, they have this roller coaster. I don't know if it's still there. I'm pretty positive it's still there. It's called the roller coaster. It's called the Colossus. That's what it's. It's this big. Okay. It's this big, huge roller coaster at Six Flags. I went on that ride for like the first time, and I was like, I'm never going back on this ride. The dips were too. I hate dips, by the way. I hate dips that go way down. Like you're dropping 30 feet, 30 to 40, maybe 50 feet down. Like I can't deal with that. My body can't handle it. Like my body can't handle it. Like So I'm like, I'm not going on big roller coasters, but I'm going on like small roller coasters, like something at Disneyland, like Big Thunder Mountain or Space Mountain or something like that.
So when Six Flags had it, they called it Batman Night Flight. That's one I couldn't remember for the life of me. But let's see here.
But yeah, I love a lot of rides. I love all those rides at Disneyland.
Oh
but
boy.
my favorite
Okay.
is Haunted Mansion, but
All right,
but
you all
yeah, I
watch
love.
this. It's kind of hard to see
What is
because
it?
it's
What
from
is
the
it?
phone instead of sharing screen. But actually, you know what? Maybe I could. Maybe I could do
What
this. Let
share
me
we share it on half.
I'm gonna screen share it, but I gotta go to. I'm not even on YouTube right now. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Okay. I gotta find it though. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, he's screen sharing something that he found something that he found that he's gonna screen share.
Yeah, we're gonna screenshot in a second. I just gotta go to it because okay. So it's 2 minutes and 37 long. Okay. So this is the one I'm gonna show you. And before I click on that, let me go down to what Eric just taught me in a few minutes ago. Well, not necessarily a few minutes ago, but okay. Why is this not letting me? Now it's letting me. Okay. Boom. Let's go to YouTube. You should be able to see that.
I see this. Whoa, holy moly!
You didn't miss anything, I
Holy
promise. All right.
moly!
Now, hold on. Okay. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that.
Well, there's a little dip, and
Luckily, called it Dominator. Six Flags called it Night Flight.
it's fine without sound. Like I don't need to hear their woo.
So it's a moderately gentle.
See, those are the kind of roller coasters I hate. I hate those kind of roller coasters, man. That's what Colossus was. It had all
One
that
operated for a
all
season.
that on
Wait,
that,
scenery.
man. I'm like, I can't
Almost done.
handle the Colossus
Two more.
anymore.
Two more upside downs, one after another.
I
And
can't handle
180,
that, man.
and then the
That's
second
too
one. Here you
fast.
go, right now.
Uh, uh,
Coming around, and right after here, you're back in the station. Up, little zero gravity right there, little zero G right that second,
yeah.
and then you're done.
And here we go again. Oh, maybe. 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 I don't know. But yeah, I can't handle that. I can't handle those kind of roller coasters. With
All
the dips and turns and
All right,
goes
we
up,
killed
up,
it.
up, 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 and boom. Yeah, I can't handle that.
Boom.
I can't handle my body can't take that. I'm like if after you eat something, like if it's a lunch
Floorless
or
roller
dinner,
coaster.
I can't handle it. I can't handle that. I'll throw up.
Oh
I'll throw
goodness
up.
gracious! I love Hershey Park. I've been there only once, and oh my goodness, that's an awesome park. I want to go back there again. Oh yeah, it's a good park when you visit Hershey, the Hershey factory. But I did that. My family when we were growing up. I forget how old I was. My young teens. But yeah, that's a fun park too. Oh yeah. Cedar Point's my favorite. I think it'll always be my favorite. You guys are familiar with Cedar Point. Um, yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, it's 218, 219.
Yeah.
We just keep going on. Watch somebody else do it Periscope style. Somebody else will come in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's been happening like last time. So been on for 2 hours 45 minutes. Okay, I lied. So all right, 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Yeah.
So Brendan and everybody else, Bruce, if you're still here, everybody, thank you for hopping in for a little bit. Frank, thank you for the high award. Thank you, Eric, for being here. All right, you guys take care. All right.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.